single-stream recycling, now referred to as mixed recycling. It became popular for its convenience, as Cheryl had pointed out. Residents put everything they think could or should be recycled into their carts. Processors, to win over municipal contracts, promise big returns, accepting nearly everything from hardcover books to pots and pans. With increased recycling tonnage and hot markets, municipalities struck deals with processors and recycling became a revenue stream for many communities. Recycling tip fees also decreased. In the HRA region, the tip fee for private haulers went from $39 a ton to $10 a ton in 2011. Haulers themselves didn't reduce their fees to their customers, your residents, and they too were profiting from the highs of the evolution of mixed recycling. While recycling tonnage increased, so did contamination. The current contamination rate for mixed recycling is 20%, while China's tolerance is 0.5%. The truth is, mixed recycling is dirty and contaminated with unacceptable items such as household garbage, garden hoses, plastic bags. We'll give them a second. Concrete blocks and propane tanks. Plastic bags, cushions, plywood, and dirty wet paper contaminate this pile of recycled material. I agree with the Resource Recovery Magazine's recent article that pointed out the primary factors causing contamination. Simple non-compliance, number one. Some folks are blatantly bad. They have no intention on recycling, and they just use their blue bin as a second trash can. Two, the believers. Some think virtually everything is recyclable. The hopefuls, those who think this should be recyclable, so I'm going to put it in my bin. Four, route-specific issues. Contamination is seen in some communities due to transient populations and language barriers. Glass. Besides the obvious contaminants like cushions and concrete blocks and propane tanks, there are hidden contaminants that haunt the stream, beginning with glass. I will pause and I will say that not everyone has the same viewpoint on glass as I do. But from our standpoint, we see glass as a contributor to the issue of quality. The right side in this image is a pile of source-separated MRF glass. The left image is a close-up. Can you see the glass? The glass that is captured at a material recovery facility ends up being mixed with the bits of paper, metal, bottle caps, and other unwanted debris. The dirty truth is most glass going through a MRF in Connecticut is not getting recycled. It costs too much to clean the glass to make it valuable. Glass processors, like Strategic Material, want clean glass, not MRF glass. The result is MRF operators are sending their material out of state to landfills, either as alternate daily cover, or, believe it or not, even waste, even though they shouldn't. It's a state mandate to be recycled. The MRF glass is transported as far as 500 miles. How environmental is that? On the other side of the MRF is the material that is being sorted and baled for market. The cleaner the material, the higher the value and the return. The higher the return, the lower the fees. Another problem with glass going through the MRF is the particles and shards that attach themselves to the paper and cardboard, reducing the value of that material. The third problem with glass is it's detrimental to the equipment. Every time the glass breaks, it creates glass dust. It acts as an abrasive that wears down the equipment, costing the facility money. Is glass the contaminant, or is glass being contaminated by all the other small pieces of unacceptable materials such as prescription bottles and loose bottle caps, lighters, batteries, and shredded paper? Another surprising contaminant, it doesn't belong. it doesn't get captured. This is a picture of shredded paper in a pile of Murph glass. It's actually part of the same image from the other slide. Yes, propane tanks do get sent to the Murph by curbside. They don't belong. Why anyone would think so, I don't understand. Tangles and cords, they don't belong. They get themselves wrapped around the equipment and they cause major shutdowns for Murphs. FTD flowers, anyone? No. Dead flowers shouldn't be sent to the Murph, neither should live ones. I think Cheryl and I have a series of the same photographs. So every 3 to 4 hours, plastic bags. That is the V-screen separator at the front end of the Murph. They shut that down, they shut the entire system down every 3 to 4 hours so those gentlemen can put themselves inside that equipment, cut it out with razor blades, and so that they can continue working, and then those plastic bags are sent as garbage. I wonder why my screen went blue. Okay, the goal. The goal is to produce clean, valuable material to be manufactured into new products, right? We all want to believe it's for the environmental benefit, which is in the case most of the time, but it's not really the true priority for most municipalities. We need to face that. The main objective is protecting budgets. Oh, I think I skipped. I apologize. One of my slides is missing. I'll say what I want to say anyway. So in the HRA region, we have spent a lot of time and financial resources on public education. We believe that our public education outreach was working and effective because our recycling tonnage reports were increasing. Although our goal was to educate the public to recycle right, they just recycled more of everything that shouldn't belong. I still believe that public education is the key element to fighting and winning the battle on contamination. But we need to take another approach as well. With 169 municipalities, we can almost say we nearly have 169 different ways contamination may impact individual communities. We're so autonomous. Where's the unity, Cheryl? We have communities whose 5- and 10-year contracts are expiring, and with that are shifting from once being paid a revenue share for mixed recycling commodities to now paying up to $85 a ton for disposal. That's a large pill to swallow. We have communities with 100% private subscription collection where the residents pay directly for their disposal costs to municipality collection paid through taxes, which now create budget constraints. Connecticut's municipalities are not all feeling the same pain, but nonetheless, economics is an impact. There's that slide. We need to begin to look at the barriers that are preventing residents from recycling and recycling right. Education alone is not going to stop folks from contaminating. It's a supportive role, not the end-all. We need to identify the barriers, address them, and build solutions around them. Let's begin to think about what barriers may be in your community. Do all your residents have access to curbside recycling? Many multifamily units are not serviced. What size container do they have? How often does it get picked up? Do they have easy access to your local recycling center? What does it take to access the recycling center? Do they need a permit? Where do they go to get the permit? Town hall? What are the hours of town hall? What does it cost the resident to obtain that permit? These are barriers. Who is your recycling coordinator in your town? In some towns, it's the chief elected official or the public works director. While these are obviously important roles in your community, they don't always fulfill the recycling coordinator's position very well. It's a title. We need to have individuals in each community who are educated and knowledgeable to direct the public. Yesterday, I saw a wonderful tweet from Recycle CT Foundation. Looking to recycle your Christmas tree? Ask ask your local recycling coordinator. I nearly gasped. Because I'm like, in my 11 municipalities, I have some pretty darn good recycling coordinators. Not so good, because they're the chief elected official, and he doesn't know where to recycle Christmas trees. It costs, what is the cost? Is it a cost for is that the barrier for municipalities to hire a person to be the right recycling coordinator? Is your website up to date? I bet it's not. I looked. Does it have current information? This is a barrier for your residents to be informed. Is private subscription with automated systems a barrier? Automated systems take the human out and leave an automated arm to dump the material into a truck, where once a spot check from a hauler could stop contamination right at the curb. We need solutions. Some folks believe that MRFs should invest more money to retrofit equipment to solve the problem. It may help, but like with plastic bags and glass, there's only so much equipment can do. But the barrier there is there's not enough profit at the back end to see a return. Is taking glass out of the mixed stream a solution? Public education must be harmonized throughout the state. Our communities need help with cart inspections and enforcement. Transfer stations need to have thorough truck inspections on loads being brought in, and contamination fees should be implemented, incentivizing the private haulers to educate their customers. Perhaps we need more one-day collections for hard-to-recycle items that don't belong in the blue bin. Is EPR a solution? Should manufacturers of these products take a role in the responsibility for the end life of their products? Should we have stronger legislation on banning single-use plastics? Could a stronger bottle bill that expands the beverage containers to wine and liquor bottles help curb the glass problem? Should the state facilitate recycling coordinator workshops so they're educated? So my hope today is that you leave beginning to think about what are your barriers in your community, identifying those barriers and creating solutions to address the issue. Thank you.